All right, so we've got this webinar promo here, and it really got me thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's making big commissions online without having to sell anything.
Oh, wow.
And that's a pretty bold claim, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. Definitely makes you wonder how that's even possible.
Exactly. And that's why we're going to break it all down today, see if there's any substance to these promises.
Yeah, for sure.
So this webinar is by John Thornhill.
Okay.
Now, he is a ClickBank Platinum seller. So he's supposedly made millions through that platform.
Wow.
And he's talking about these profit levers that can help you unlock earnings of up to $33,078 a month.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's interesting that he's a ClickBank Platinum seller. I mean, it does give him some credibility, right?
Oh,
It
yeah.
shows he's had success with digital products, at least through that platform.
Mm-hmm.
But, it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone who follows his system is going to be successful, too.
Right, like it's one thing to achieve something yourself, but it's another thing to teach other people how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of what makes me curious about those profit levers he's talking about.
Yeah, what are those?
Yeah, the promo is pretty vague about what they actually are,
Mm-hmm.
but they're presented as this like magical formula for making money online. I
Uh-huh.
don't know, have you come across that kind of thing in your research on these online business models?
Oh, yeah, all the time. It's often, repackaging the same old marketing
Oh,
principles.
yeah, for sure.
Sometimes even just like giving it a fancy name to make it sound more exclusive.
Right. It's all about creating that perception that there's this hidden secret that only a select few have access to.
Yeah, exactly. And that plays right into what they said about the three big reasons why online businesses fail
Oh, yeah.
and that missing piece that the gurus are hiding.
Makes you wonder if it's genuine or if it's just clever marketing to create that FOMO, that fear of missing out.
Definitely.
Now, while there are definitely pitfalls in online business, like poor planning or not adapting to trends, framing it as this one missing piece seems a little bit simplistic.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It feels like they're trying to hook people in by saying there's just this one secret ingredient that you've been missing all along.
Right. And then this is another interesting thing I saw. He emphasizes building an online business without creating products or selling.
Whoa, wait, what?
Yeah, I know, right?
How can you make money online without selling anything?
Well, it comes down to affiliate marketing, where you promote other people's products and earn a commission on the sales.
Oh, okay.
But, even though you're not creating a product, you still need to be good at marketing to make it work.
So it's not really passive income like the promo suggests.
No, definitely not. You still got to put in the effort, build an audience, get traffic, and convince people to buy, you know.
Hmm?
It's not just about slapping up an affiliate link.
Right. Okay, so there's definitely more to this than meets the eye,
Mm-hmm.
which is why we should look at the earnings disclaimer.
Yeah, the fine print. Always got to read the fine print.
Right, because it often gives a more balanced perspective.
For sure.
So what does the disclaimer say?
Well, first off, it acknowledges that there's risk involved in any business venture, especially online. No guarantees of success. And your results will depend on a lot of things, your experience, how much effort you put in, even market conditions.
And it specifically says that there are no guaranteed earnings, which seems to clash with their claims of making thousands without selling anything.
Yeah, that's true. There's definitely like two different things being said here.
It does feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
So how should our listeners reconcile these two seemingly opposite messages?
I think the key is to, be realistic and think critically. Understand that marketing often involves hype and promises of quick results.
Yeah.
But the disclaimer is kind of bringing us back down to earth, reminding us that you got to put in the work and results can vary.
Right. So it's not about completely ignoring the opportunity, but approaching it with, healthy skepticism and realistic expectations.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of being skeptical, let's talk about ClickBank.
Okay.
So the promo mentions that they are the retailer of the products on the site. But what does that tell us about the legitimacy of the opportunity?
Good question.
Does ClickBank endorse his system?
Well, not necessarily. They're basically a marketplace for digital products.
Yeah.
So they provide the platform for creators to sell and for affiliates to promote. It's kind of like a giant online store.
Okay.
But just because something is on ClickBank doesn't mean it's a guarantee of quality or that it's effective.
Okay. So just because it's on ClickBank doesn't mean it's a winner. But he is a ClickBank Platinum seller.
Yeah, that's definitely worth considering. It shows he's made good money selling through ClickBank.
Right.
But it's important to look deeper and see what those products were, how he marketed them, and if he can still do it in today's market.
Right. Past performance isn't always a predictor of future results.
Exactly.
So it seems like we need to do a bit more digging to get the full picture.
Absolutely. And that's what we'll be doing in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, great.
We'll be looking closer at his approach, the feasibility of his system, and what red flags to watch out for when evaluating online business opportunities.
Awesome. So we've covered a lot in this first part, the promises, the potential pitfalls, and why we need to think critically.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you're interested in learning more, I encourage you to click the link in the description. It will take you to the webinar registration page,
Okay,
and you can get more information and decide if this is something you want to pursue.
great.
We'll be back soon to continue our deep dive.
Okay.
So stay tuned for part 2, where we'll delve even further into John Thornhill's system for online success.
Sounds good. Welcome back. So we're digging deeper into John Thornhill's approach, and he talks about helping people build online businesses without creating products or selling.
Yeah, how does that even work?
Well, it all comes down to understanding how affiliate marketing works.
Okay.
Basically, you leverage existing products and sales funnels to generate revenue. You're kind of like the middleman between the buyer and the seller.
Well, so it's like being a matchmaker, but for products and customers, you connect the two. And if it's a match, you get a commission.
Yeah, exactly.
So does that mean you're kind of at the mercy of whoever created the product?
Ah.
What if the product isn't good?
That's a really good point. Your success is tied to the quality of the products you promote.
Right.
So you really got to choose the right products that align with your niche and your audience.
Okay, so it's not just about grabbing any affiliate link and sharing it with everyone.
No, definitely not. It takes research.
Yeah.
You got to do your due diligence and really understand what your audience needs and wants.
Right, that makes sense.
Okay.
Now, Thornhill claims to have this system that can generate a lot of income through this method.
Yeah.
He talks about his ClickBank Platinum status
Mm-hmm.
as proof that he knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But does that guarantee that everyone who follows his system will be successful too?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it does show that he's skilled at using ClickBank and making sales, but there's no guarantee that everyone else will have the same results.
So it's not some like foolproof formula?
And not really. Individual results will always vary.
Yeah.
There are a lot of factors at play, like marketing skills, audience engagement, and even the trends in the market.
So it sounds like there's more to it than just plugging into a system and watching the money roll in.
Yeah, exactly. Success in affiliate marketing is like any other business venture.
Mm-hmm.
It takes work dedication and a willingness to learn and adapt as you go.
Absolutely. Now, he also mentions these profit levers that are part of his system.
Right.
But he's pretty vague about what they actually are. Can you shed some light on that?
It's hard to say for sure without more details,
Right.
but based on what I've seen, these profit levers could be a few things.
Okay.
They might be talking about specific marketing strategies, ways to get more traffic, or even psychological triggers that make people buy stuff.
So it's like a set of tools designed to boost profits.
Exactly. But how well they work depends on how you use them and what niche you're in.
Okay. So it's not just about having the tools, but knowing how to use them the right way. But could these so-called profit levers just be basic marketing principles dressed up with a fancy name?
That's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
You're right to be skeptical.
Mhm.
I mean, there might be some niche-specific strategies or little tweaks that work really well in certain areas.
Right.
But the core principles of marketing are pretty much the same across the board.
Okay.
It's all about knowing your audience, creating messages that resonate with them, and building that trust factor.
So maybe it's not about reinventing the wheel, but more about refining and optimizing those core principles for a specific audience.
Exactly. And that's where experience and testing come into play.
So it seems like Thornhill's system might have some valuable insights and strategies, but it's not some magic solution.
Right.
Success still comes down to your own effort, your skills, and your willingness to learn and adapt.
For sure.
But how can our listeners figure out if this system is a good fit for them and their goals?
I think the best way is to attend the webinar itself.
Okay.
It's a chance to get information straight from the source,
Mm.
hear him explain everything in detail, and see if it resonates with you.
Right. So if you're interested in learning more from John Thornhill himself, I encourage you to click the link in the description.
Yeah.
That'll take you to the webinar registration page where you can sign up.
Great.
Remember, it's always a good idea to gather information from different sources, do your research, and weigh the pros and cons before making any decisions.
Couldn't agree more.
We'll be back soon with part 3 of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
And we'll be exploring some important considerations related to data privacy and informed consent.
Looking forward to it.
So we've talked about John Thornhill's system and his success on ClickBank and even those profit levers.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one more thing we need to look at: the data privacy side of things.
Yeah, that's super important these days,
Right.
with everything being online.
Right, because it's not just about watching the webinar, it's about what happens to your information after you hit that register button.
Exactly. You're basically giving John Thornhill permission to use your data for his business.
Okay.
So that could mean adding you to their email lists, sending you promotions, or even sharing your info with other companies.
So you're kind of stepping into their marketing world. Some people might be cool with that, but others might be a little more hesitant to share their personal info.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone has different comfort levels with data privacy.
Right.
But the good news is the registration form mentions that you can withdraw your consent and even have your data deleted.
Oh, that's good to know. So you have the option to opt out of their communications and basically disappear from their system.
Exactly. It's all about reading the fine print carefully before you sign up.
Right. Understanding your rights and making informed decisions about what you share online.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, I think we've done a pretty thorough deep dive into this business opportunity.
Yeah, I think so.
We explore those big promises, the potential downsides, the need to be critical, and, of course, the data privacy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's up to you.
Exactly. We've given you the information and the tools to make your own decision.
Right. There's no one right path to success online. It takes effort and research and a willingness to learn as you go.
For sure.
If you're interested in learning more directly from John Thornhill, click the link in the description and explore further.
Great.
And even if this particular opportunity isn't for you, we hope this deep dive has helped you learn how to approach online business propositions with a critical and informed mindset.
Absolutely.
That's what we're all about. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. We'll be back soon with another fascinating topic. Until then, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.